Hey guys, interviewing a great friend who's an established entrepreneur and leader. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to listen to his leadership journey. Tune in. All right. Hey, Drew T. Jackson here with Drew T. Jackson Coaching, Speaking, and Training. So happy that you were watching the video today or on the podcast. And wow, I've got a treat for you today. I've got a fellow executive director with the John Maxwell team. This guy has some amazing experience as an entrepreneur. And that's one thing that I'm really excited about today with my guest. As you know, those of you who listen, catch my videos, I try to talk to you about personal growth and leadership, but also from an entrepreneur's perspective and angle and view on things. And so it's just a real treat when I get to have an interview with an established, successful entrepreneur, someone who's gone out there and done it multiple times and done it well. And so without any further ado, I want to introduce my guest, Mr. Corey Lee. Corey Lee, say hello to listeners today.
Hey, Drew. Hey, listeners. Hope you guys are doing good. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate all the kind words there. I can tell you it's a lot of lessons that I've learned the hard way on some of the successes that we've had. So
yeah, well, let me go ahead. I'm going to share some of the specific stuff. You and your wife have started multiple physical therapy clinics and gyms, and you've gained experience in all aspects of running a business. And that's the true idea of an entrepreneur. My wife, I remember she was in a class at school, and she had like a business class. They had to look up the definition of an entrepreneur. And the definition of an entrepreneur is the individual that is willing to take on the financial risk. And some people just don't have the intestinal fortitude to take on that risk, like you and your wife have done multiple times. And putting it out there, that's what this country is founded on. I think of it when people say, man, you're stepping out, you're an entrepreneur, man, that's scary. I just think it's an adventure. And I don't know, would you say it's the same way for you? Is it an adventure, or how do you view it? Because you've done it so many times.
Oh, 100%, man. I love entrepreneurship. I love starting something, seeing something, and finding a way to fit that in to make an impact on people's lives. Love all aspects of the business, except for some of the paperwork stuff.
Yeah, right.
But I love entrepreneurship, and there is some risk involved, and those are things that I guess you call it calculated risk. You know, you're not jumping out there to be doing something. You looked at the risk and the reward and see where you get into that. And there is somewhat of a risk, but I never really think about that, I guess you say, in a weird way. But yeah, man, I love entrepreneurship and business and starting something from scratch and seeing it grow. Now my wife, on the other hand, I like getting stuff started, but I don't like some of the details, right? So I always tell people, I can get stuff started, but she's behind me sweeping up some of the mess, you know. And, she's good at the procedures and the policies and, you know, some of that kind of good stuff to tweak it. So I guess I'm the big idea person. So
man, we are both blessed in that way. My wife is exactly the same way. She thinks that way. It's amazing to me because I don't think that way, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Well, hey, so you are the founder of Corey Lee Leadership and Fitness. Where are you at right now? You got the American flag behind you. I'm feeling patriotic just looking at you here. But where are you right now?
I feel like we should start with the national anthem.
Right? Maybe, yeah.
We're here at our CrossFit gym, CrossFit White Horse in Manatee, Mississippi. So
very cool.
Really the best space that I had available, but you know, you got the flag in the background. So, but we are in our gym right now.
I love that because that speaks really to your fitness background and kind of where you're coming from and your unique perspective on leadership and all of that. Now, okay, you founded two businesses, two physical therapy clinics and two fitness gyms. It's just unreal. You provide personal training, you provide business and leadership coaching, where a lot of your content comes from not just your experience, which you have a ton of experience, but also from you've got content with the John Maxwell team, just the best content in the world. You got access to the #1 leadership guru in the world. I think we're looking at almost 7 years in a row voted as the #1 leadership guru by other people. And so that's amazing. Obviously you didn't start where you're at right now and with the successes you have, and you're not done. you got a lot more success ahead of you, but share with us kind of how you got, how'd you get there, from where you were at, or how'd you get here from where you were at?
Yeah. So, well, owning a business is something that my wife and I had always talked about. Our background is therapy,
Okay.
physical therapy, and we just always wanted to have our own physical therapy clinic where we could, I guess, treat people the way that we saw best. And we opened up in a very small town in a very small building, but our goal was to make a true impact in the community. We really wanted to make an impact from a health and fitness standpoint, not just physical therapy. And we didn't want to be, I guess, just another business there. We wanted to be something that the community was proud of, a community that they were proud to have this business there and lasting impact. And, crazy as it seems, one of my goals, we're in a very small town. The population is like 2,000.
Wow.
But my goal 5 years ago was to make this town one of the healthiest towns in our state. And the state of Mississippi is one of the most obese states in the country. I think everybody knows that. And I cannot stand that. So we wanted to do whatever we could to do that. And we started with therapy and really just got involved with the community doing boot camps and fitness classes and just all kind of small things like that. And it kind of just grew from there. Now, we had we opened up our second physical therapy location last year, got the gyms, and now the next step that I'm wanting to do is go to the business owners or leaders in the community. And because I feel like if you can help them, that positive impact can be far reaching. The people at the top. So I guess long story short, that's how we got from there to where we are now.
That's great. That's great. A lot of stepping out and a lot of just going for it along the way, for sure. And figuring it out, I bet, along the way.
Yeah. Some hard lessons along the way, for sure. So. Right.
Well, Corey, what would you say was the turning point for your personal leadership?
Real good question. Well, like I said, we had a big goal, big aspirations and big things we were reaching for. But I thought I could do it on my own, right? I thought I could do everything by myself. And if you're leading something or if you're wanting to achieve something big, then you better have a big team, right?
That's good. Yeah.
Is a self-made man or a self-made woman. And as we started to grow, it became obvious I couldn't do it all by myself.
Yeah.
So my wife, she quit her job. She came on full time. And then we hired our first team member. And it was really at that point that I saw that the decisions that I made no longer affected just me and my family. If I made poor choices or poor decisions, then those consequences were felt by a whole other family, not just my own.
Wow.
So, it kind of really, really scared me. And that's when I really started to get serious about personal growth and development in leadership. Because as the leader of my business and of our team, my ability to lead would determine how well we succeeded. If my ability to lead would take us closer to where we wanted to be, or would take us further away from where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things that I work with other business owners or leaders about is helping them see that their ability to lead their team is either going to take them forward or take them backwards.
Wow.
as John Maxwell, he talks about in the law of the lid, he talks about your ability to lead will determine how well you and your team succeed. So
Yeah.
if Corey Lee is an average leader on a scale of 0 to 10, if I'm a 5, then my team's performance is going to be a 4 or less. But if I can grow my leadership and I grow to a 9, then my team's performance, the potential, can become an 8.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the turning point in my leadership, was when I realized that I was either going to take us forward, or as a leader, I was going to hold us back. And that's been one of the biggest things. And now, like I said, we in our therapy clinic, I think we've got 7 team members, and in the gyms we've got 7 other trainers that are.
Wow.
And this about 2 months ago, the town of Manatee, which is where we are, was awarded the Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthy Hometown for being the healthiest small town in Mississippi. So,
man, there you go.
We had a small part in that. There's other things, but like I said, 5 years ago, that was a goal of ours, and
that is huge.
So, yeah,
man, congratulations. That's I didn't know that. That is, thank you for sharing that with us. And man, 5 years, to put it in perspective, that you had a goal, you had a dream, you had a focus, a direction that you were wanting to go. And, people, I think too many times they see entrepreneurs and they think, I got a text from a friend the other day, and he was like, man, I miss having you around the office, and then he's like, you're probably sleeping in bed, it was like 9 o'clock or something. He said, you're probably sleeping. And I was like, man, I've been up since 5 a.m. There's no free lunches around here. You know what I mean? No free lunches in this office. And that's, I think, one of the misconceptions is that many times with entrepreneurs, it's this really snazzy image that comes to mind of like the person that sets their own schedule and they just do whatever they want, whenever they want. And they just have the money just flows in like water. You turn on the spigot and you just however much you want, it just pling. But you put some perspective on that, hey, yeah, you had a dream and a goal to see some change in your city, and it meant that you had to build your business and get that message out and talk about fitness and then build a team around yourself. And over the time of 5 years, how many people won't even give 5 days towards their personal growth or towards a goal, or 5 weeks towards their health? But you gave 5 years of your life, but there was a payoff at the end. You were able to accomplish this goal. And I'd like to know what kind of similarities have you seen working with individuals that are seeking health and fitness services? What kind of similarities have you seen between them and then the business owners that you serve with your leadership training, if any?
Yeah, there actually are some. And
okay.
When you think about someone that's wanting health and fitness, then you think about a business owner. Obviously, they have goals. Both of them have something that they are trying to pursue. Whether you're in the gym, they're wanting to get more healthy or active or whatever. In the business, they want to make a greater impact.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them have something that they are pursuing. They have goals. But really, I guess you could say the biggest similarity that I see is they both share some common fears and some things that hold them back from reaching those things that they're trying to pursue.
Okay.
Right? And some of these fears, I think all of us have, but it really holds us back from being who God has designed us to be and potential, And I guess thinking about that, I guess some of the biggest fears that I see people have is that self-doubt. Even in the gym or business owners where and I do as well, and you probably do as well, have the talk in your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To you, you can't do that. You've never done that. You don't even know anybody who's done that. So what makes you do it? And helping them see that they can do it and get over that hurdle and see that they can be more, do more, and achieve more, whether it's in the gym or in business. And I guess a couple other ones is like a fear of criticism. What are other people going to think?
Yeah.
Yes, and what are my friends going to think if I fail, or if I succeed? What are they going to think about me then?
Yeah.
But really, I guess the biggest one that I work with business owners and in the gym is that comparison. They compare themselves to other people. And, I've even fallen into it some and have to become aware of that. But in the gym, I see it all the time. People, they'll work out and say, man, I see Jack over there. That guy, he's doing handstand push-ups and he's doing fancy muscle ups and
Right.
I can't even walk 5 minutes without getting out of breath. I can't do what he does.
Yeah.
And you have to put it into perspective for him. Jack right there, he's trying to be a competitive athlete. Your goal, you told me your goal is you want to be able to work all day. You want to come home with some energy so you can go outside and play with the kids. You can get down on the floor and wrestle with them, or throw the ball with them outside, or whatever.
Yeah.
Your goals are totally opposite.
Wow.
So putting it into perspective, and even in the business realm of comparing themselves to other people, they see Jack again. Jack's this awesome guy, right?
Yeah, right.
Jack's got this awesome business and it's growing and he's got a great reputation, and they say, well, I can't beat Jack. I mean, Jack's awesome. I can't do what he's doing. And just again, bringing that perspective back of, no, you're not Jack, but you know what? Jack's not you either. You've got unique gifts and talents and abilities that God has given you and designed you with. And this world needs your gifts and and what you have to offer. And just, I think a lot of us can get sidetracked by that. But those are some of the biggest comparisons or biggest similarities that I've seen is you're obviously pursuing something, but some of the same fears prevent them from reaching those goals. And that's what I love about what I do with the coaching on both aspects of it, of fitness and business, is helping people get over those hurdles and reaching those goals. So yeah, that's a good question.
That's great. That's great. That's awesome with the similarities. I've seen it in my own life, just in my own journey of, you talk about the thoughts between your head. Part of my journey of personal growth was running, and I didn't ever think I could run, and I couldn't. I trained for a 5K and I didn't even run the whole thing. But when I began to change my self-talk and my mindset, and because I just always said I'm too big to run, it's not my body type, I'm more made for lifting weights, whatever, but once I started saying, I'm a runner, I'm made to run, I can do this, totally shifted, and my body really did what I told it to do, what my mind told it to do. And so the same thing is true, I absolutely believe, with your fitness goals, and then with your leadership, man. That was right on, spot on. Well, tell us something, because you're working on something that kind of mixes those two, right? So tell us something you're working on right now.
Yeah. I think you had a great point, and that's great what you shared there. So what I'm working on now is when we're recording this, it is December 2017. So 2017 is wrapping up, and I'm gonna be hosting a goal setting seminar at the end of this month in December the 30th. It's going to be a live seminar in Mississippi, and calling it 2018 Your Best Year Yet. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go through a process to design your achievement plan. I've heard Paul Martinelli say that, most people, if they've ever failed to achieve a goal, it isn't that they lack the capacity or ability to do it. It's usually in the process of setting those goals. So we've got a process that we're going to go through. We're going to take a look back at 2017 and kind of see what were some of the wins that you had, what were some of the accomplishments and experiences that you had, what were some lessons that you learned, right? We don't like it may have been a failure, but what you considered a failure, but what was the lesson in that?
Absolutely.
And then we're going to go into assessing where we currently are in each area of our lives, right? That wheel of life.
Yeah.
I think we all know somebody that has the big house on the hill, and they've got the nice cars and the fancy toys, but they have nobody to share it with. right?
Mm.
We want a well-balanced life. That's
Yeah.
not at the sacrifice of other areas. So we're going to take a true assessment of that. And then from there, we get to have the fun, right? We get to dream a little bit.
There you go.
We're going to think of the things that you want to accomplish in each area of your life for a few minutes. And then from there, we're going to really focus it down and dial it in to what are your top 3 goals that you want to accomplish and the top 3 things that you want to pursue this year. What if that's what you want to pursue, then what's the first step in the next 24 hours, in the next 90 days that you've got to do to accomplish that?
That's good.
As a bonus, I'm pretty excited about these. As a bonus, I've got a tracking system to where the people that attend can track every week, every month, and every quarter to make sure that they're on track to reach those goals.
Wow.
Then on top of that, the big bonus is
This is a killer offer, man. This is a killer offer.
It is a free one-on-one month of mentorship where we make
Whoa.
sure we're on the right track. So pretty excited about that. Again, it is a live seminar on December 30th, but I plan on recording it and make that available shortly after. So yeah.
Wow.
Excited.
Okay. So what is the date on when people can sign up, or when they need to be signed up by? And then, and it's you said it's live in Mississippi, but tell us about that, and then how people can connect with you kind of afterwards. Maybe they missed this event, but they can buy the replay, or however you're offering that later. How can they connect with you? Along with, please tell us more details about how they can get involved with this training you're offering. It's great, killer offer.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so you can sign up at Eventbrite.
Okay.
In Fulton, Mississippi. It's called 2018 Your Best Year Yet.
Okay.
So sign up the day of. And again, it's in Fulton, Mississippi. But if you're not able to attend, I'm going to make that available about 2 weeks afterwards. And the way that you can get that is you email me. Email Corey, Propt @gmail.com. And really the best way to connect with me is you can connect on Facebook at Corey Lee, or by email at CoreyPropt@gmail.com. I also have some YouTube videos with some content at The Fitness Mentality is the YouTube channel. And maybe that's got some good content for you there.
Absolutely. And what was the date again on your live event?
Yeah, definitely. Saturday, December the 30th.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
Oh, great. So plenty of time to sign up. And you said they can go to Eventbrite and they can sign up all the way till the day of, you said?
Yep. And they can actually sign up as you walk through the door as well. So
fantastic. So you're making it as easy as possible. What was the price point on that?
It's $50. So
$50. $50. Are you kidding me, man? $50. They get the live training, they get the tracking ability, and then you're also throwing in the free coaching.
Exactly. Yeah.
My goodness.
Accessible for anybody. My goal with this is to get people started on the right track.
Yeah.
So I want as many people as possible to be able to attend and help them through that.
Well, and the thing is, all the listeners, keep this in mind. Corey isn't just talking about this. He and his wife set a goal to have their city listed as healthiest city in Mississippi. They reached the goal. So this isn't just someone who, watched a neat video or got some cool training on how to set goals. This is someone who has lived out their goals, has accomplished some goals, has a track record of success. And you need to jump on this. If you are in you said Fulton, Mississippi, correct? If you are in the area within, I would say for $50 on a Saturday, if you're within a couple hours of that place, you need to get there. And the follow-up stuff is all online, and you can connect with them with coaching calls via phone, and it'll be just as good as in person. Jump on that. Any of my listeners, I would encourage you, if you are in that area, to make sure you connect with Corey Lee on that front and find out more information. Corey Lee Leadership is your Facebook page, correct? Yeah. So Corey Lee Leadership, find that out, follow it, set it as, one of your, you want to see all the activity that happens so that you can stay up to speed on what Corey's doing with that. Wow, what a amazing interview, and our time's wrapping up. We got about, I don't know, 2-3 minutes left. I want to do some rapid fire questions of my own. Now these are oddball questions, okay? So these are kind of crazy. If you're ready, I'm trying to trip you up. So if I trip you up, then I succeeded, okay? Because you've just been nailing all these questions all day. So now I can have some fun. Maybe I can catch it. If you could sing one song on, let's say America's Got Talent or American Idol, I guess they don't exist anymore. But if you could sing one song on American Idol, what would it be?
That's a good question. You know, I'm not a very good singer. However, I did used to lead worship at our church. I don't know if all the singers or what, but you know, I guess I would probably sing God of Wonders by Third Day. And the only reason I would sing that, again, I'm not a good singer, but our kids love it and they go around singing it at the house. So I guess that's what I would sing.
Well, there you go. And you'd have backup singers built in.
Exactly.
All right. This is a quick yes or no question. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Well, definitely.
Have you ever seen him or her out in Mississippi?
I have not, but I know a guy who knows a guy that heard of a guy that has. You know?
Okay, good to know. Have you ever been on a boat?
I have.
Okay, great. That was the end of that question. Last question. You're doing great here. Last question. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Where did you get that question? I'm going to say the one big one because I feel like I might give it one good jab and cut out run. I'm thinking its size wouldn't be able to catch up with me.
Right. Ducks are mean though. I was trying to think about that one myself. Ducks are mean, man. But I guess if I don't know. Anyways.
You know, that's a possibility. You know, I run, they've got a ton of ducks there, and I usually go a big loop around the ducks because exactly they may try to attack me. Now you've really got that in my head. So.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Corey Lee, for jumping on here. Make sure, listeners, you connect with Corey Lee, and if you're able to be a part of his goal-setting training, make sure you do that. Sign up, pay the $50. It's an investment in you. Do that. Thank you, all my listeners. Drew T. Jackson, coaching, speaking, and training. Thanks for being on the training today. Follow, subscribe to this video on my channel. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get updates and you can know when we're putting out more content like this. Great content with people in the field doing it. And we will catch you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.